Welcome, everybody, to Heroes Asylum, issue 97. Welcome to the Year in Review episode. That's right, guys. We're going to talk about everything 2020. We're going to run down movies, TV shows, everything that went on. And, of course, like always, we do this every week with Kane. How you doing over there, my friend?
Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. We knocked out a couple of things last night for the Midnight Movie Show for you. We got knocked out the Wonder Woman review for Wonder Woman 84, which will drop tomorrow morning, by the way, folks. So if anybody is interested, hasn't gotten a chance to watch it, has listened to some of the questionable reviews out there for it, go ahead and check it out, and you'll hear what we had to say.
Questionable reviews. I like how you
well, there were some I felt that were questionable. I think just a little bitterness out there.
Yeah, just a tad.
And then also on Wednesday, we will have our ending of the Infinity Saga that we've been doing all year long.
Yeah, it began all the way in January, and we finished the last one last night, which was Endgame, and that's it for the theme of the year, I guess. And new stuff is ahead for Midnight Movies next year.
That's right. Now, guys, with New Year's coming up, I have read online, I think it's if you start the Infinity Wars at like 9 p.m. and like 29 or 30 something minutes, if you watch it with the second that Tony snaps his fingers, it'll hit midnight. So look that up online. I meant to find it so I could give you guys the right time. So if you want to do a watch along New Year's Eve, because I don't know how many of you guys are going to be going out and go rocking out with the mask out. So so you guys just if you are interested, try that out. I might attempt it myself.
Yeah, I think I might do that also. I'm not going to go anywhere for New Year's. I'm just going to stay here in my humble abode and stay safe and all that stuff. Too much craziness going on outside in this crazy world that we live in.
That's right. So what we're going to do, guys, like I said, we're going to do a year review. We're going to run down TV shows, movies that we've seen, some we haven't seen. Maybe I'm sure there's a handful of Kane's seen that I haven't, and I know vice versa. Also television series, like I was saying, ones we feel are, we were really good, that we enjoyed. And then, of course, also the movies again. And then, of course, we're going to have to start off like we do. Unfortunately, we had to do this a few times. We're going to run through some deaths. We're going to call these the remembrance phase of the show. So that way we're going to talk about those that have passed. There are so many folks out there that have passed. These are guys and girls that have fallen into our genre, our niche of what we cover. Not taking away from anybody that's passed away from COVID. There has been more deaths from this year from that than this small group of celebrities that we're going to just recognize. But again, we're here for kind of following that path, and we want to recognize them for their time and everything that they did here, in their genre for us.
Indeed,
so,
yeah.
but definitely, guys, not a slight to anybody that has had friends or family that have passed throughout this year, because it's been a hard year for everybody out there. I don't know anybody that has not been somehow touched by the plague that will not be named.
Yeah, thank God. Lots of people. Just a tough year, but got to try to plow forward somehow.
Yep. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna honor some of them that have passed. Again, like I said, the ones that are kind of in the areas that we end up talking about quite a bit. And of course, we're gonna start off at the beginning of the year. We lost. I grew up watching him. I'm pretty sure Kane is, because we both are wrestling fans. But the beginning of the year, the first one that I came up was Rocky Johnson, the father of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, the Soul Man. He passed on January 15th at age 75. I got a chance to see him last year at a convention that I went to, and so it was really cool to see him there. We also lost Max von Sydow. Oscar nominated. Yep. Yeah, Star Wars, Game of Thrones, and of course Kane's favorite, Flash
Gordon, baby, Ming the Merciless.
He passed away March 8th at age 90. We did have this gentleman. It falls under as he was there for a lot of things, but he wasn't on screen that much. But he was a dialect coach for actors from Star Wars, Viggo Mortensen, Christian Bale, Robert Downey Jr., He was also in Star Wars as Major Emat. So he was there for the for that, but I died of he was one of the few that actually died on the on here from the complications of coronavirus. I was noticing a lot of folks that had passed here weren't. I was surprised at how many did not pass with that. Next one,
about a quarter of them, or
not even
half?
less, not even less than even a quarter of that.
Okay.
Yeah. Next one is Logan Williams, actor who played young version of Barry Allen on the CW's Flash. Died at a very young age, at age 16.
Did they find out what he died of yet?
I don't know. I didn't delve into everybody. It just said.
Okay, I'm just wondering because it was for a while. They said he undisclosed deaths when they. Yeah. It's been a while, so I'm wondering if they found out.
Unfortunately, I didn't do my due diligence because this list was a little hefty. So, again, another WWE alum. Probably I know he's a Hall of Famer as well, or if he is not, he should be. WWE announcer the Fink Howard Finkel passed away April 16th at age 69.
Oh, he was young.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
still young. Wow.
Next one is Ian Holmes, actor best known for his Lord of the Rings, Chariot of Fires, and Alien. Died of Parkinson's disease. June 9th. Galen Gorg, the actress who played roles in Twin Peaks, Star Trek, RoboCop 2, Point Break, Mantis, and Lost. Wow, she died again at early age. She was battling with breast cancer or cancer. Died at 55. A great director, had a few hiccups on his way, but we still love him to death for the movies that we do love, and I do love some of his bad ones. It's still Joel Schumacher, director Lost Boys, Falling Down, and 2 Batman movies. We'll just leave it at that. Won't name it. Passed away at 80. Then
he was 80.
Yeah,
he was 80. Wow.
Yeah. He was working quite a bit in his in his later years. Then one that hit home and hit a lot of people and surprised a lot of people, especially in the the things that we talk about, our niche that we like to talk about. Chadwick Boseman, best known for T'Challa and then Black Panther, Jackie Robinson in 42. And what was it? Was it 42 that was the bridge one? Like just before he passed, they released
that
it
was
this year.
19 bridges or 18 bridges or something.
That was
21 bridges. I think it was 21 bridges. Yeah,
that was a really good one. But he did, 43, a little bit younger than us. But he was battling that unbeknownst to a lot of people. He had been battling a 4-year-long battle with colon cancer.
Yeah, nobody knew. I mean,
that
was a shocker. I mean, talk about privacy. That guy, he didn't reveal much about anything. I think.
No. And what the great thing was, you would go to the Make-A-Wish and meet the children going through. He wouldn't show anything, any sign of.
I think it wasn't until that video popped up of him that people started thinking something was wrong, like, "Ooh, he looks very thin," and then he was like, "Oh, he was like, I'm just doing it for a role," and then after that, it was a couple months after we got the news, so that's another hard one.
Then we lost Diane Rigg, actress best known for playing Emma Peel in The Avengers and also in roles in Game of Thrones, if any of you Throne heads are out there, as well as James Bond. We lost another WWE alumni, Joseph Laurinaitis, also known as the Animal for the Road Warriors, died at 60. I mean, for a wrestler, I will have to say that is very old for a wrestler. When people think of wrestlers, a lot of them feel that they pass earlier than that.
Yeah, usually in the 40s,
40s and 50s. Just the stuff they go through. I mean, it's not about the steroid issues or anything like that, but it's what they put their bodies through a lot. I mean,
the pounding. I mean, it wasn't until recently they discovered all this stuff with concussions. I mean, you think about concussions; those guys must have went through tons of them and not even got diagnosed. So that's a lot of wear and tear on a body. So.
And then, of course, Mr. Eddie Van Halen, for any of you metal guys out there. I mean, he is widely regarded as probably one of the greatest guitar players of all times. I have him and a few I have in my Mount Rushmore of guitar players. And
he has to be in the Mount Rushmore of any your favorite guitar players.
If he's not age 65, I mean, even going through everything he'd been going through, he went through throat cancer. I think he had already recovered from tongue cancer a few years earlier. So, I mean, he had some bad things. They were equating it to, I guess, what he was saying is like the tongue cancer that he got. He thinks that's where the throat cancer came from, was the picks. Because if anybody ever seen him, he used to play his guitar, put a guitar pick in his mouth and play his guitar. And apparently it was something with the guitar pick material that he used. He used like a metal pick.
Really?
And he was saying that he thought that that's probably what it was, because the place where his tongue cancer hit, where he had to get it removed, was
Mm.
where he would rest the guitar pick.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought he was like a chewer or something. That's what I
No,
thought.
he was a heavy smoker. My ex-wife actually used to babysit Wolfgang years and years ago, even before I even knew her.
Wolfie.
Yeah, she used to babysit Wolfgang, when he was a baby. But he was a pretty heavy smoker, and again, of course, anybody knows that they back in the day, they were pretty heavy drinkers as well. But yeah, I mean, age 65, passed away on October 6th. Next one really was a big hit for us. I mean, we'd already lost a James Bond alum, but here we go to lose our, James Bond himself, the Sean Connery, which, I mean, that's an argument to behold. We're actually going to have that argument later this year. We're
Yeah,
going to
we're gonna have it. Yeah,
we're,
that's
we're going to
the
have a James
long
Bond.
awaited.
Yep, we're going to have a James Bond month where we're going to sit down and go back, pick the best movies of all the Bond ones and just do a watch along and figure out the best one. But yeah, we lost Sean Connery at age 90. I mean, amazing. Of course, you guys know him from James Bond, but Indiana Jones and Last Crusade, The Rock, Untouchables, Highlander. If you guys believe Ricky Bobby, the best movie ever ever made, one that won the Oscar for it. In fact.
Yeah. Ricky Bobby.
Next one. Hey,
I love that movie.
if you went first, you're last.
Names Lias.
So David Prowse, actor of Darth Vader. I mean, you talk about we just lost one of our heroes we grew up with. Now we're losing our villains. And like I said a couple of weeks ago, it seems like we've always been losing our heroes. Now we're slowly losing our villains. And I don't know if I'm sure you're the same way I am. It's a lot of people are. It's not only the heroes that make you. It's the villains you grew up with too.
Yes.
But yeah, we lost David Prowse at age 85. Then we lost Tommy Tiny Lister, Tebow, and Zeus from WWE for a very short period at age 62. And next one is Jeremy Bulloch, Boba Fett. We talked about him last week, the original Boba Fett. A very poignant time for him to leave when Boba Fett is now becoming a iconic, even more iconic character.
Unbelievable. Can you believe that? Like at the end, would you have thought of that when the Mandalorian
Yeah.
series began? That now, like at the ending of 2020, we're talking about Boba Fett, the Mandalorian, in the same echoes as Jedi's and Sith. It's amazing how people have responded to this series. I mean, I love it from the beginning because I always wanted. This is the Star Wars I always wanted. But it's just amazing, like it's how it's hit pop culture. I think Baby Yoda helped too, but
Baby Yoda was the one that definitely opened up the door for the non-Star Wars folks. Like I can tell you for a fact that I have a lot of folks from work that like Star Wars, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'd enjoy watching that." But if it wasn't for the fact of Baby Yoda and the memes that came out, they're like, "What is this going on?" And then they jumped in, and then they're like, "Oh, wait a second, pump the brakes. This is actually something fun." And you don't have to be a Star Wars sweaty to appreciate the Mando. You can appreciate for going, oh, I remember Star Wars. Oh, look, a TIE fighter. That's next wing. Hey, look at that. Just little things that they would remember. And
yeah, they give the fans what they want while still moving forward, which
but it's not just about the fans. It's the casual fans, like the super uber casual fans. That's how you hook. We're going to go no matter what. I mean, we are all Star Wars. You and I, Star Wars fans. Our friends are all Star Wars fans. Our community is Star Wars fans. But it's the way you hook the non-Star Wars fans. We're going to stand out in the middle. We're going to stand out the night before or the night of and go see Star Wars. All right, we're gonna go run out and get the next comic book that comes out for Star. We're going to go do that. We're guaranteed money to them. The magic is getting the casual fan or the fan that's been gone for 20 years because they didn't like the prequels, and they're bringing that fan back. That to me, that's a big thing. We have a friend of ours that's probably a little bit more hooked in. They're getting their clogs hooked into him a little bit more because he's been disappointed with the last series of movies. Wasn't a big fan of the prequels. I heard he beat up a trash can after watching the first prequel movie.
That's what I heard. I heard stories about that.
Yeah. And then he wasn't a big fan of the sequels, and never got into the expanded universe until now.
Until now, yeah.
I mean, he started getting more into. I was surprised that his knowledge of the expanded universe came from the Star Wars.
I think he hid that fact from you. I think that's what it was. I think he had it, and you just brought it out in him. He just had to He ended
No,
up
no, it
bringing
was a
out
game. No, he told us it
that
was it
game.
was a mobile
Yeah,
game that he was playing, and it's kind of cool because it'll give you a rundown of what the character is about. So that was kind of cool. But so like I said, I think that's what the Mando's doing. And then of course our last death of the year, just recently, in fact, former WWE, but now AEW wrestler John Hubbard, um, passed away, age 41. Uh, and if nobody is aware, Luke Harper or Mr. Brody Lee is what he used to go by. But apparently, from his wife, just he was having it's a non related COVID issue, but he was having lung issues for the last couple of weeks, having issues breathing. That's why he hadn't been on TV on AEW.
it's a shame too because I just thought he started hitting his stride
Mm-hmm.
as a as his character in AEW. Like he was given the opportunity to make this character, or in WWE he wasn't. I mean, I don't want to go into the whole thing, but it just looked like he was making something that was going to last. It's a
Yeah,
real shame, real
it is.
shame.
Yeah, yeah. He was being treated by the folks at the Mayo Clinic, so definitely something that wasn't being ignored. He was definitely trying to treat him, get everything settled down. So
Yeah, that's just a bummer way to end 2020. Let's just hope we don't lose any more lives going forward.
that's right. We got a few more days, so let's not jinx ourselves.
Yeah,
Next one we have, that is our deaths. And again, we're going to give a big bag of wind to every single one of those people. They all some way touched our lives, whether just by entertaining us or giving us, hope, or, just being an icon in their certain genre that may have gotten somebody to, that made somebody feel better about themselves. I can't tell you how many stories I hear about musicians or actors saying, a fan came to me and told me, I was the reason that they were able to get through this because they were able to sit down and watch my TV show, or they were able to sit down and watch my movie series, or something along those lines. So, definitely, yes, these folks had passed away, and they, and we have had a lot of deaths here, but I know these folks touched a lot of heart. And, I can speak for me as a WWE fan. Losing Finkel, the Fink was a huge one for Inc. Because he's like JR for me when you think of announcers. The Finkel is the ring announcer. I always think of when I know we had Lillian Garcia there through the Attitude Era, and she was something special. But
Lillian was good, but she was never Fink.
The Fink had something special.
Fink had something about it, man. It's just like one of those things. If you ever watched the old WrestleMania, especially I think WrestleMania 3, when he was doing the Pontiac Silverdome, and you could hear that voice announcing all these matches, I was like, wow, you know what? That's what I'll miss. Just a big game feel that he made it at. I mean, even before Buffer was around, that was the Fink. So that's the way I look at it, Big bang went to the Fink, man.
Yep, for everybody. So now we're going to move on to 2020 movies. Did you get a list at all, or did you make a list, or what's your...
I didn't get a list. I was waiting for a list.
Well, you got to do your own homework. Don't copy off of mine.
Sorry, man. I guess I'm just gonna have to go off memory then.
Well, just go off of like movies that stood out for you. Like, I mean, if anything I say, I kind of picked out the ones that were like, the romantic comedies and things of that nature.
You picked out romantic comedies?
No, I picked them out of the list. Not.
No, I was gonna say, did you
No.
pick them out? Like it's
No, I took them out of the list. So then, so basically, we were starting off January 3rd last year, or this year. Sorry, I'm hoping it's going away quickly. So
yes,
we started off with The Grudge. So this would be the remake of The Grudge. Did you get a chance to watch it? Because I know you're the what'd you think?
It was awful. I hated it. It sucked, man. I'm sorry. That's one of those things. What's the one that's saying that I heard? Whatever stays dead, whatever's dead should stay dead.
Yeah,
no, I heard that in Supernatural or somewhere else. Whatever's dead stays dead. That should have stayed dead. It should have stayed dead. It was just not. It just felt like they were just trying to revive something that was gone, and I just did not enjoy it at all.
I sort of heard the same thing about what's the Craft that came out later this year. That's in my list, but I kind of heard the same thing, that they're trying to do it, and it's one of those things that the 90s babies are now feeling the pain of seeing their toys and that they love so much getting played with by Hollywood and not being as good as the original. I think there's a few movies in here that definitely fall under that category of Hollywood should know to leave well enough alone, move forward,
just
create something new.
Please, just don't do it.
Next one we had was the third one of the trilogy, a long ass trilogy, but Bad Boys for Life. Did you get a chance to watch?
Yeah, I dug it. I dug it. Yeah, I liked it a lot. I didn't think I was gonna like it. I was like, man, here's another one. They hadn't made Bad Boys 2 or whatever, it was a long time ago. This is going to suck. But somehow they managed to keep that same feel and move it forward.
There you go.
You know, that's one of the things we've always talked about when you bring something back after a while.
Yeah.
They kind of just like poo-poo it and they say, you know, what happened back then never happened. This one brought it back, but then they add another element to move it forward.
Well, with those, you're
cool.
keeping the same cast, though. That's the thing. It's when they do what you just described is when they're bringing in a different cast, and then they forget about the prior.
Here's the thing. I'll give you an example. In the movie, they brought together this kind of like SWAT team thing, and I thought I was going to hate them, but I actually liked all of them. I was like, oh, these are cool. I like these characters. Hopefully we can go forward with them. And they introduced, you know, spoilers, you know, Will Smith has a son from some, you know, Colombian drug lord lady. And, you know, I guess he might be a factor in the movies to come. So it's just like all the new characters they brought in, I dug. I didn't like the fact they killed the captain, but, you know, you gotta move. Got to
do that. I mean, they you know, they almost did the same thing to in Beverly Hills Cop. You know, they almost killed him off. You know, borderline to him during the I think it was the third one where he had to go to the mock-up Disney World.
Oh, was it Moose World, Wally World?
No, Wally World was what was the vacation movies.
Oh yeah.
Next one is Doolittle. That was the first movie in a while that we've seen from Robert Downey Jr. taking on the Doolittle role. Didn't get a chance to see it because it was one of those things I heard way too many bad things about it from.
Same.
I heard some bad things about it from the right people, not just the reviewers or anything like that.
Didn't bother.
Yeah,
just didn't bother. Just heard like too much. There was just too much negativity. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna.
And I've been a big fan of his Sherlock Holmes movies. So I
like those movies. Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't even knocked the door for the third one yet. They've talked about it, but they haven't done anything with it. It's just kind of odd. Like I would think, you know, if you're done with the MCU, that would be the next one.
Well, I think when he finally got done with everything, I mean, Doolittle just came out, and then we got hit with COVID. So I'm pretty sure a lot of things, you know, we all know a lot of things got pumped. Yeah, the brakes got pumped. Unless they were already started in it and there was money invested, they're continuing. But anything new, really got their brakes pumped until just this fall, where we're starting to now hear, hey, yeah, we are starting production with this or this or this.
Yeah.
Next movie. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I don't want, you know, Downey to be remembered just for Tony Stark, which, you know, that's great, but, you know, he can do other things. He can do Sherlock Holmes. You know, he's done good films in the past. I mean, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I mean, he did Chaplin, so he's done some good films. He's
definitely got. When you look back at his life and his you know career, you know nobody's going to say he was just Iron Man. He will be remembered more for Iron Man, but. You know, the rest is there.
I just hope he has like one of those Michael Keaton revitalizations on the indie scene where, you know, you didn't hear from Keaton for a long time. He's like, I'm not going to be Batman no more.
Give it about 10 minutes or 10 years. We got to wait. We got to let him get off his high right now. He's on his Batman high as Keaton was. So we got to let him kind of fizzle down a little bit, do a couple more Doolittles, let people forget him. And then
please, no.
And then he'll come up in something like amazing, maybe, you know, and everybody will go, oh, there he is. That's what he did. That's what he's known for. He was a great actor. Next one we had was The Gentleman. I know you and I enjoyed that movie.
Loved it. Loved it. Just I can't be. I think I saw that movie once, then I saw it again and again. I never get tired of seeing it. I just love the whole. I love what's his name? Hugh Grant in that movie.
Yeah,
unrecognizable in that movie to me. I'm like, that's Hugh Grant. Like, damn. Okay.
Yeah, I love that. There's a one clip that goes out there. I think it's from the scene when they're in the cafe and the punk ass kids are like messing with them or messing with the owners. I see that all over the place on Facebook, and it's great to see because that's a powerful scene to watch.
Oh man, and McConaughey was so good. Like, damn, I didn't think McConaughey had it in him to play like this, sort of like a gangster. I was like, shit. Like the minute you mess with his wife or anything's business, dude, you're dead. And he showed that side, like just terrifying. Like, ooh, okay. You know?
So it was a great movie, and it hit early in the year. Hopefully, I don't think it got. I'm not sure if it got up for any awards, but if it didn't, it should have.
I hope it does. You got to give it to Hugh Grant or McConaughey, one of those two. Even what's his name? Charlie Hunnam wasn't bad from Sons of Anarchy. I thought
he wasn't bad either. Yeah. Next one after that was Gretel and Hansel. If anybody, it's just a retelling of the Hansel and Gretel story, but for some reason they wanted to put Gretel in the front to give it more female empowerment, and that's kind of what the movie itself had. But it was fun fantasy.
I didn't see it, so you have to tell me.
It was just fun fantasy. Nothing, I can't go, ooh, look at that. Next one is in our first one in the comic book realm of the year was Birds of Prey in the Fabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, or Harley Quinn and
Harley
the Birds of
Quinn.
Prey.
Harley
You
Quinn,
pick
Birds
the
of
title
Prey.
you like.
Just call it Harley Quinn. I don't know
Yeah.
why they had him just that stupid title. And
Yeah. But overall, I mean, it was a fun movie. It was not anywhere near comic accurate. The
oh
the
no,
characterizations that they did for these already strong female characters, like I was offended that they would wussify. Again, that's a Michael comment or saying, but yeah, just that they like made they wanted to make these empowering women, but they were already empowered women. If they just would have taken what they had already in the comic books and just brought that over and put a little twist to it, yes. To me, Renee Montoya was weak, and Renee's a badass in the comic books, in the cartoons. I mean, any time you've ever seen Renee Montoya, she kills it. And when you put a Rosie Perez on to play her, and then
that's bad writing. That's just bad
just
writing.
bad
because
writing. Yeah.
you had the right actress in the role.
Oh yes.
Remember
yeah,
when we heard she was cast? We were
Yeah.
like, oh, this is great. She's gonna
Yeah.
bring that spice. I
Oh,
was thinking White Man Can't Jump. I was like, oh man, she's gonna just knock this out of the park.
yeah.
And she was just so, I'm gonna say, de-wussified, man. It was just so that's not Renee Montoya.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, and they did, and not just her character, but they did
Oh,
it to all
dude!
of
Oh
them.
my,
Every
the
single one
abomination
of them.
that's Stephanie Brown. Oh boy,
Yeah, so I'm not sure. I mean, I like to see those movies where they're showing women empowered, because we need to see more of that. Because there are those little girls out there. We've got some of our friends are female, fans of this stuff, and they want to see that stuff. And I just feel bad when they produce something that's just weak from the original. That all these women that were in there hang with Batman. They go toe to toe right next to him. So obviously they're not weak, and they made them all weak, and I'm not.
made
Was
them
not
all,
happy.
yeah, just like this pathetic little damsels in distress. I mean, Margot was great as Harley, of course. I mean, it's her freaking movie.
Yeah.
But everybody else was just even Huntress to a point was kind of bad because she was barely in it.
Yeah,
barely in it. Like she was there but not there.
Everybody, yeah.
Yeah, just a whole freaking mess. And
Next one was Blumhouse, Fantasy Island. Did you get a chance to finally watch that?
Yeah, I did. I think I messaged you when I saw it. I was like, this is creepy.
Yeah,
I love it like a horror movie.
I'm a huge Blumhouse fan, and if anybody has a Hulu subscription, Hulu's Into the Darkness, I think, is what their horror section is called. It's chock full of some great Blumhouse movies. Yes, they're low budget, but they're really fun. And when I saw Blumhouse was doing
you're being kind.
Island,
all their films are low budget.
Fantasy Island wasn't. No, you can't say all of them because Fantasy Island wasn't a low budget.
What was Fantasy Island made for? Like 5?
I don't know. It still wasn't
10?
low budget. I mean,
I'm not saying low budget as far as like low budget, but it wasn't made for like $30 million.
No, I'm not saying that, but I just like when I say low budget, you can tell low budget. You can see the quality of the room, the quality of the film that they're using. Sometimes you can definitely see that. After Fantasy Island, we got what was sort of a bit of a controversial film that came out this year at the beginning of the year, but it kind of got fans kind of spoke up and were heard. But Sonic the Hedgehog,
I dug it. I dug it.
It was fun. I thought, oh great, we're going to see a revitalization of Jim Carrey, because I loved the way he played. I loved how he played
Robotnik, man. I thought he was great as Robotnik. I loved it. I was just like you. I saw the trailer. I was like, man, this is gonna suck. They had to change his eyes, and
no, they had to change his eyes, his legs. They'd like to change the whole body because it looked strange. And I was like, all right, well, I guess. I mean, it's cool that the fans are being able to be heard, but sometimes we don't need to be heard. We just give us the stuff.
Yeah,
I'm a fan. There's sometimes I'm wrong. All right, I'll admit it.
Yeah, don't change the whole movie because of what I said, man. Yeah. Just do your own vision. But the changes they made, I couldn't really tell. But hey, it was a fun little movie. Fun movie. That's what I told everybody. It's just fun. Watch it, give it a chance, and hopefully they'll continue on that road and make a sequel to it, because it was a fun little movie. Dug it.
Next one came out, and you and I both agreed on this one. I think another Blumhouse movie, The Invisible Man.
Really good.
Real good. I mean,
real good.
Wow.
I've been wondering, because I know that he's going to take over the Universal monsters and put it in his world. And when I heard about the concept of the Invisible Man, I thought, okay, what's gonna happen? Is it gonna be a magic potion? Is he gonna turn the guy naked? He run around, be something stupid? I was wrong.
Well, I mean, I'm a fan of the Kevin Bacon Invisible Man.
No,
I,
oh, that
I
one
thought
was
I
really
thought
cool.
they basically elevated that idea of an overpossessive boyfriend and just made it even darker.
Even better.
I mean, just the way it begins puts you on edge instantly. If nobody's seen it, make sure. I think that is on Hulu as well. It's a part of the Bloomhouse one.
The
But yeah,
concept of the how he became invisible, what he was
yeah,
using was freaking fascinating. If you guys haven't seen, I'm not gonna give it away, but just
yeah.
really cool stuff.
Next one was Bloodshot. I enjoyed it. I know you had some issues with it. I think you just felt like it wasn't more as comic book accurate as you liked.
I didn't. It just wasn't Bloodshot to me. I don't know why. I just had that. It's just like the whole story about it.
Was it Vin Diesel? Because I think sometimes when I see Vin Diesel in something, he's too much into
Maybe
into
that's
the Fast
it.
and
Maybe
Furious.
yeah.
He's too
Maybe
Fast
I'm
and
thinking
Furious for me. Every time I see him, I'm seeing
Dom Toretto.
Dom. Yeah, that's what I'm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe that was it because I was like, okay, like I like the effects, I like everything here, but it's Vin Diesel as Bloodshot.
yeah.
I'm like, okay, so it's Dom Toretto. I mean, just call it Fast and Furious 11.
Exactly, and I think that's what it is. I think I have to, whenever I see him in a movie, I have to blank. I have to like erase that part of my brain and say, okay, he's not Dom. This is him trying to be an actor and doing something else. And it's.
But he just comes out as Dom to me. I
He's
don't know
still
why.
because that's his personality. I think Dom, if any character is close to him, I know he's a geek. He actually plays Dungeons and Dragons and plays on WoW. I do know that much. So, but I think his persona is so. He's done what are those 7 of those movies, 6 of those movies as Dom in some form or fashion, whether it's a cameo. So yeah, he's been in the the public eye so much as that character, just like it's like we talked about Robert Downey Jr. He's been so much in a decade in the eyes of the public as Tony Stark and Iron Man. It's going to be hard for us to not see him as something else other than Robert shaving his goatee off and shaving his head and going complete opposite. But me personally, I enjoyed Bloodshot. I mean, it was definitely low budget, and I just had fun with it. Next, Friday, March 20th, Pandemic Shutdown. Did you see it? This is the moment, guys, so that way you understand when we're jumping from March 20th all the way to May 15th. That is how long we had no movies released. That includes digital copies, anything online. Nothing came out on Netflix new. Nothing from the 20th to the 15th. Almost 2 months of nothing.
Nobody left their house.
No.
Everybody
Yeah.
was
So
outside.
so that is what we had during that time. So first one that comes out March 15th, that falls under our category, and this is a VOD. Kane's favorite form of entertainment, video on demand. And I told you to watch this, and I heard a couple of grumbles when you're like, Scoob. The animated version of Scooby-Doo, Scoob, came out, and I loved it. I thought what I told you about. If anybody's ever listened to us before about my tirades on Ghostbusters and what remaking a movie when you don't capture the heart and the soul of the original one. That's all I raved about on this one, because they captured Scoob. Yes, it was for today's generation. Yes, it was more geared towards now, but just they captured the heart of the whole Scooby-Doo universe. They not only did Scooby-Doo, but they threw in the Hanna-Barbera.
A lot of the Hanna-Barbera cast in there.
And not only just the Hanna-Barbera cast, but also if you look in the walls, you'll see some stuff from Hanna-Barbera, like really deep cuts for people that, in our age bracket, we're like, oh yeah. I think there was a poster or a game for Hong Kong Phooey. I mean,
Hong Kong Phooey. I mean, a couple characters show up that I hadn't seen in a long time.
Yeah, we get to see Captain Caveman. I mean,
that Captain Caveman was the wild one. That was crazy. I was like, and I think that was that Tracy something that was voicing.
Oh, it was
him?
Tracy Morgan.
Tracy Morgan.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I got it. And then we got Snibbly back and all that other stuff. It had a lot of heart. You're right about
definitely.
that. And I dug it.
Next one, it came out. You and I both were not fans of this one, but it came out on Disney Plus for Artemis Fowl.
Artemis Fowl.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the young adult, like entertainment. I'm not a fan of the books. Like I can't get into young adult books, but some of the movies I can get into. And I was looking forward to this, and I was so disappointed. I did not. I was just like, what is this? This is horrible.
It was just so bad, and it's too bad because you could see the world they had there. They were trying to build, and to go forward, there was something there, but it's just like the first one out of the gate was just so. Do you remember the movie Aragon or Egon?
Yeah.
That was supposed to be the beginning of a trilogy of movies.
Yeah, those are, it's a trilogy book.
And they had books, and it was just so bad. They were like, screw it. And I think that's what happened to Artemis Fowl. They just messed up so royally off the bat. And I was like, okay, this is just not going to happen.
Yeah. And then right after that, I did not see it because I heard a lot of things about it, and so I didn't watch it. But Hamilton came out on Disney Plus just a little bit after that.
Nope.
Did you? Me either. It just didn't appeal to me. I'm like, what is this? And so then the next one that would come out was Greyhound on Apple TV, a very brand new streaming service, Apple TV. If nobody's ever checked it out, it's got some cool things on there. A couple of my favorite shows are on there that I've always loved. The Long Way Round. If anybody's a motorcycle enthusiast, it follows Ewan McGregor and Tara Borman as they travel around the country, around the world, and then also they go up and down on the from top of England down to the Cape of Good Hope in Africa. So. But Greyhound came out, and it was with Tom Hanks, where he was playing a World War II captain of a cruiser. I thought it was good, being that it is a streaming service, and I mean the graphics were amazing. I thought it was way too short, to be honest. It was like an hour and 30 minutes. I'm like, I'm so used to like
hour and 30 minutes, really?
Yeah, it's really short. I'm used to like Band of Brothers, Saving Private Ryan. These long, drawn out,
for a war movie. That is really
and
short.
with Tom Hanks, you would think with his experience in that genre. I mean, he's not only did Saving Private Ryan, but Apollo 13. He was behind getting a lot of the some of the Apollo television series that you'll see out there. So. It was fun. It was, I just think it was too short and too rushed. And we got to see Elizabeth Shue in there for you Karate Kid fans. She showed up there like at the very beginning as his wife or his fiance, I believe.
Oh.
Okay. The next one, great show or movie, Old Guard on Netflix.
Yes.
With Charlize Theron. I mean,
that was really cool.
I got a chance to read like one volume of the book, and it was pretty close. But I mean, you're just basically following immortal men for hire, assassins, and it's really cool, very intense, and it definitely left you wanting more.
Yeah, that, and I had no idea there was a book when I was watching it, and I saw that opening scene where they walk in and they murder all of them. Like, what? They're gonna kill them all in the first? This is like, it's gonna be a flashback movie. I was about to turn. I was like, then one of them started moving. I was like, what? And I was, okay. You got me.
The next one was actually a Hulu original, was Palm Springs. I don't know if you watched this or not. It had I'm drawing a blank on his name. It had Andy Samberg and Akiva Schaffer. Akiva was the mom from about How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool movie. It's based off of him finding a tunnel that basically Groundhog's Day. That he found this tunnel that basically resets the day. So he's been stuck doing this for a long time. And then you find out that another guy he got drunk with one night and they became friends. He showed him how to do it. And it doesn't matter where you are. You don't have to be in the cave for it to zip you back to reality. It just happens. And so he's just stuck in this loop and doesn't know what to do with his life. The other guy, the old guy, he figured out how to like appreciate his life and spend more time with his family. But every once in a while, he gets a bug up his butt and he comes back and hunts down Andy and shoots him, kills him because he's just going to wake up the next day. But then Akiva gets trapped into the loop with him, so they start happening, and it's a nice, cute little love story, but it's got a sci-fi twist to it, and I thought it was great, the humor in it, and just the shit that they do. Like I said, it's very a la Groundhog's Day when you see just some of the fun that they have.
That's what I keep hearing. I have not watched it yet, so it's a poo-poo on me. I'll have to check that out. I'll put
it's
that
definitely
on my
fun.
queue.
Next one is, and this is for the international release. Yes, it got released later in the year for us, but internationally, Tenet came out, and pretty good movie. I, I liked it. I
I
liked
feel the
it, but
same way.
yeah, it's like one of those ones. It's like I liked it, but I didn't like it at the same time. There was something off about it that just like kind of bothered me.
I think I like Chris Nolan. Always have been a Nolan mark for a long time, but
Oh
I
yeah,
think I think this film, and guys don't yell at me or whatever, but I think Nolan sometimes, and especially a film like this, he's trying to be too smart for himself or trying to be a little bit too pretentious. I think, especially with a film like this. And like I said, I liked it, but I was like, I don't know. First of all, it was way too long.
yeah, that was
But all Nolan films are. I get that, but it's just
yeah.
like it just there's no explanation of here and there. I mean, I get it, but it just I didn't get it. It was like I don't know. It's a movie that was trying to be too smart, and it just wish it was a little bit more simpler. Like kind of it moved at a certain pace, and then it was like we're doing this, then we're doing that. Okay, what about that? Like, oh
Yeah.
no, we're here now. Like, oh wait, I had to remember what happened 45 minutes ago. Now, like it just
Very,
I don't know.
very Memento. I mean, and I'm a huge fan of
Yeah, yeah,
Memento,
yeah.
but still, it was just like, and then also the backwards shooting of it. I'm like, okay, guys,
Yeah,
that's
that bugged me. I
yeah.
didn't get like okay, well, there's bullet holes over there.
Next one we had, and one you and I were huge, loved about it. Bill and Ted Face the Music. We both loved it, and and again, it's one of those moments we talked about, and we already kind of reiterated with Scoob. Bill and Ted recaptured that heart. So for the original, yes, they had the original actors there, but you also brought in the daughters, and those in watching them go off and doing their own adventure, they still captured and still held on to the original heart of the first two Bill and Ted's.
Yeah,
A
they
great sequel came out at the perfect time. We've already been trapped inside 6 months almost, and we just needed this. It just brought. I know a lot of people. It brought a lot of people a little bit more uplifting feeling about their lives.
yeah, it was just a good uplifting movie, and I dug it, man. It was nice seeing Bill and Ted back together. It was just cool. It was really
Mhm.
cool. I was sad that they didn't get the original actresses to be back as their wives, but that's a different story. So it's
Next
fine.
one is the New Mutants, the ending of, or what was the sort of the end, but also kind of the beginning of the Disney X-Men universe. But it was still from the Fox, so but it didn't end up doing what it was supposed to do. Kind of disappointed. I know Feige did tell the director, hey, if this does make a mark, we're definitely going to push some more coming out. But I guess it didn't hit that
Was
level.
this how long ago was this released? What 2018, 2019?
It was made, yeah, 2000. I think beginning 2019. I think it was
Wow, it's been a
almost yeah.
while. Yeah, they waited too long. I like the characters though, but the movie itself, it was
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Let's see. Next one was Mulan. Did you get a chance to watch Mulan?
No, I didn't pay $30 to see it. Sorry.
Oh, okay, me either. Next one, this one, Enola Holmes. Did you finally get a chance to watch
Yeah,
that?
I saw it.
I loved it. I love
Cute.
her to death. I can't wait to see more of her and see what she can get into as an adult
Yeah,
in movies. I know she's still only 17, 18. She's very young,
yeah,
about Miley Bobby Brown.
yeah. But
And
she's
but I love the attitude, the breaking the fourth wall, talking and getting a chance to see Henry do something different than his Mission Impossible roles, or him doing Superman. Actually hearing him in his real British accent, was
I
kind of.
liked him as Sherlock Holmes. I just wish we got to see a little bit more of him. I
And
mean,
I'm
I
hoping
know the
maybe we
movie's Enola
will.
Holmes, but I
Yeah.
just the moments we got to see of him was pretty cool. And the freaking brother's a damn douche. I mean,
Yeah,
whoever that
but
guy
I
was.
love their chemistry back and forth. How the other actor that played the other brother that chemistry back and forth, and it was great to see Helen Bonham Carter
Yeah,
again. She's looking great, so it's always great to
she,
see that. Next one is another Netflix movie, and I loved it to death. This one sort of is outside of our genre, but Hoobie Halloween. Did
Hubie
you watch it?
Halloween.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
did.
I loved
It
it.
was cool. I dug it too. Like again, they just probably his best comedy he's done in a while.
It is, yeah.
Just
I
fun.
know. I know. Sandler's been really pushing to do drama. He had what was the one he came out earlier this year?
Uncut Gems was
Yeah,
last year,
Uncut
right?
Gems. Yeah, was it last year? I thought it was earlier
Yeah, it
this
was
year.
last year.
But that, and then this is a nice way for him to to not alienate his comedy fans. There's a huge population of folks that still love Billy Madison and are huge fans of Happy Gilmore, and he pays tribute and pays homage to those past characters because you see a lot of throwback in this, and I love that fact that they did that. Of course, I'm a huge I will rewatch and rewatch. I couldn't tell you how many times I've seen Grown Ups 1 and 2. So
Oh
I love
man,
to see those
yeah.
characters return. And then hearing Shaq with a female voice was just even better.
Ridiculous. It was funny.
Then after that, we had Love and Monsters, which basically is monsters take over the world, but this boy and girl are trying to connect with each other, and he decides to go visit her. And I thought it was kind of a fun twist on a love story because it threw in a monster sci-fi feel to it.
Was that a Netflix film or was that a big
That
release?
was no, that was a video on demand. It was one of those ones that was supposed to be out on this.
Okay.
But it never did.
I haven't seen that one yet. I heard good things about it, but I'll definitely have to check
Let's
that. Maybe
see. We had The Craft Legacy, which we already talked about.
Garbage.
Lita Battle Angel re-release. There's a lot of re-releases, so we're not going to talk about re-releases. Come Play. Did you see Come Play?
No, I didn't get a chance. It's on my queue right now.
You definitely want to watch that. That's an interesting thing. It's about a kid who has his autism, I believe he has, so he can't get out and talk to people. So his mom tries to reach out to other kids, families, and to bring their kids over. But in the meantime, he finds this online story about this creature who needs a friend. And the creature befriends the little kid, and I mean it's just some great jump moments and a really cool dark story. And I believe it's again another Blumhouse movie, if I'm not mistaken. And next one we had was Freaky with Vince Vaughn. Did you get a chance to check that one out?
Yeah, I love it. It was another cute movie. I didn't like again. I thought it was gonna suck, but I thought Vince Vaughn was the man in that movie. I'll just say that he was awesome. Like the way he was able to turn that switch to actually playing the girl to going back to playing the serial killer. Good. And the girl who was actually from Supernatural, which people don't even realize. She played Claire Novak in Supernatural. Now I guess she's getting her big push. She was really good in that movie too. So they both, to do like a double-sided coin thing, double swap, it was
it was basically Freaky Friday with a horror.
Yeah, it's Freaky Friday horror. Yeah, that's basically what it was. But it was good. I liked it a lot.
Definitely fun. Fat Man came out same day with Mel Gibson playing.
We talked about that. That was a cool movie, man.
You know what I rewatched recently, and I was like, that's where they got the idea from it. Scrooged. The beginning of Scrooge starts off where Santa is in there, and there's some groups trying to come in and kill Santa, and Lee Majors comes in and helps him out. I was like, I bet you somebody was like, hey, that'd be kind of a cool idea as a movie, but instead actually have Santa Claus as the real badass. We watched Scrooge, the very beginning of Scrooge. They're showing a fake commercial with Lee Majors saving Santa because some terrorist group's trying to kill him.
I haven't watched that now.
Yeah. Next one is Hillbilly Eulogy. The only reason I bring this up is actually a friend of ours, or an acquaintance of ours, was in it. One of our old karaoke singers. You remember Adam Murray?
The name sounds familiar. He
used to come into the Winchester. Big guy. Oh, he was there one of the nights that we had to separate some people.
Okay.
He was actually in Hillbilly Eulogy. It is on Netflix, so make sure you do check that out.
Okay, no, I'm definitely gonna watch it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, check that. And next one after that, the Christmas Chronicle 2. If anybody had ever seen the original, this was a fun twist on it.
First one's better still, but the second one it still holds up.
I liked it better, and not better, but I think I liked it a little bit more just because we had Mrs. Claus involved in there. Seeing
maybe there was a lot more stuff you learned about Santa and the North Poles. It was good stuff. I think from what I read though, Chris Columbus said that's going to be Kurt Russell's last movie. I read.
Well, he's going through chemo right now, so I don't think.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Then we have Pixar Soul. That just came out on this past Friday on Christmas Day. Great movie. Very cool Pixar movie. The way they do basically follows a guy that goes into heaven, and he's finding out, that he has to, teach other souls how to appreciate their life and find their spark in life. And I love when they're in heaven and basically all the souls up there, all the people that are in charge are all called
Mhm.
Jerry for some reason, and they're basically wire characters, and they would make them. They're not actual characters; they're made out of like little wire, and it's just really cool to watch. The music's great, so make sure you do check that out. Disney Plus, and then of course, if you guys are interested, HBO has Wonder Woman 1984, which our review comes out tomorrow or
Yeah. So
today if you're listening to this on the podcast.
check it out.
Yes, so check that out. We got about 10 minutes. I was going to do the TV list, but I want to give your opinion on. Give me your top 5 television series this year.
This year?
This year, top 5. If you had 5 to say, hey, you know what, you need to watch. Top 5 that came out this year, not that ended, not that had a second season. Well, yeah, no.
Are you talking about? So you're talking about new shows then?
Yeah, new shows that broke out that maybe you're looking forward to or you were happy to see.
I don't know if I watched any new shows this year. Did I? Because I know a couple ones that I rewatched again that are new seasons, but I don't know any. What are the new ones that were out there? I don't recall.
Well, let's see. We had Space Force from Netflix. Did you watch
I didn't
Space
see.
Force?
I didn't check out Space Force.
All right.
I'm looking at the list now.
Did you watch Dracula? I know.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So
I
there's
did
a good
watch
one.
Dracula. Yeah, that was probably my favorite one of this year. I was 3 episodes. I think it was 3 or 4 episodes. Like they were like an hour and change, but really good. I thought it was like a different version of Dracula that I hadn't seen before. Well, I had, but it's basically Bram Stoker's. But they took it out of the past and brought it into the modern world, which I thought it was kind of cool. So,
what about Hellstrom?
Hellstrom was a good series. Sucks they're not going to get a second season.
Yeah, that was
dug it a lot.
The one that another one that was really good, but is not going to be getting a second season was Utopia on Amazon Prime. With
I didn't get a chance to see that one.
Really good. Basically, it's about a graphic novel that gets released one time. One run of the graphic novel. It's a collector's item, and it basically tells the future. It's foretelling of things to come. And apparently, there's a second novel version of that out there with more things to come, and it's very poignant to watch it now because it's talking about pandemics and diseases and government taking over and all sorts of different like really dark conspiracy theory type thing. So that definitely was a really cool show to watch. If you guys can get a chance to watch that. What about Picard? We got a chance to watch Picard this year.
Picard was good as well. It was shockingly good. Couldn't believe they brought it back. Didn't think it needed to be brought back, but they brought it back and they modernized it a little bit. The ending to me was, a little hokey, but other than that, I dug it. Especially all the characters they brought back.
Did you get a chance to watch The Stand?
No, I'm watching the first episode now.
Oh, okay, so
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm on it right now, literally.
All right, then let's just say the not new. Let's say what would be your top 5 that somebody had to see then?
Watch the last season of Supernatural. Watch the new season of Lucifer, I would say. What else came on this year?
I'm saying what would you suggest to people?
Watch Lucifer.
Lucifer?
Watch the new season.
Like give me your top 5.
I'll say Lucifer, Supernatural 2, Hellstrom 3, because I liked Hellstrom a lot. Picard 4. And there's one series that I'm watching right now. It's on Netflix. I think it's Home Sweet Home. It's a Japanese series.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Just came on recently. It's really good. I mean, if you can get through the subtitles, but basically, these people are trapped inside an apartment building, and they find out that all these people are starting to bleed from their nose, and they're turning into these mutated type of thing, kind of creatures, and basically they gotta, and it's going on outside, while the main character inside is this regular kind of dude. He's trying to kill himself. But then he's discovering that maybe he's a bigger part of the world than he knows of. So so far I'm 2 episodes in and I like it a lot. So I will definitely do those 5 in that order right there.
Definitely for me, Utopia. Like I said, I've really pushed for that one. The Boys, this season. I think for me this season wrapped up everything. I know they're doing more seasons, but I think that they could have stopped right where they were at, and it would have like put a nice bow on the whole show itself. Mandalorian. I mean, I don't know how you missed that. So I don't know how you skipped Mando over anything else. Picard. I would definitely say, and the last one, it started off good, and now it's starting to go to tanky a little bit. But Discovery, it started off interesting.
Uh-oh,
The way it,
really?
yeah, the way the
I'm on
seasons
season 2
start.
right now, so I'm not.
It's still keep going. You're still doing okay. But I just think there's a little twist on it. And then I think the last one for me would have been the animated Transformers that we got
Yeah.
this year, early this year. I thought was really good. Is a good way
Which
of
I think we're getting season 2 this week
we should be getting
sometime?
a trailer to season two. Again, another one here soon. And then I think it dropped February. No, it was like last year. I remember it kept pushing back and pushing back and pushing back. It was supposed to drop January, then February, then March. I think we finally got it in April.
Okay. I thought it was going to drop this week for some reason. Maybe that's something else I'm thinking of.
Well, we will actually see what's going to drop next week, because next week I'm pretty sure it's going to be a slow ass week in the news as far as anything that we're going to talk about. So what I'm planning is next week, guys, we're going to do what are we looking forward to for 2021, because next Sunday will be our first show for 2021. So new year, we're looking for to move forward and make make positive things going through on the world. Because after this year, we all need positivity. So next week, we're gonna get a list together of what are we looking forward to, what movies are coming out, are scheduled to come out. We're not holding our breath on what's coming out,
Yeah,
but
scheduled. I like how you
movies
said
and
that.
television series that we're really looking forward to. And then also, there's a big run going on with DC getting ready to make a huge change. What was it called?
Future State.
Future State. Sorry, it was So Future State. So we're going to talk a little bit about Future State and things to look forward to, because DC is going to try to shake things up for them. But
Yeah,
so make sure you
again.
guys do check that out. We are going to be dropping 2 episodes, like I said, on the midnight movies. So make sure you do check those out tomorrow and then also Wednesday. And make sure you guys can check us out at podpage.com for Heroes Asylum and Midnight Movies, and also podpage.com for Heroes Asylum. There you can sign up for all of our different podcast systems that you guys use. And Kane, what else we got?
Before we sign off, there's 2 animated movies we forgot this year: Superman Red Sun and Justice League Apocalypse War, which were also badass. So if you guys didn't check that out, especially Justice League Apocalypse War, do check that out. I love that movie. But going forward, Twitter at the Heroes Asylum page, Heroes Asylum _podcast page. Yes, Instagram at the Heroes Asylum. Check out Midnight Movies. New episode's going to drop this week. The ending of the trilogy and the beginning of something anew for 2021. So as always, from Mike to me to you to everybody else, get to the asylum. Bye, everybody.